So when it came to building the league, and I mean, even till today, what process do you go about in selecting the teams or the franchises? And I guess this is a separate question, but I do want to talk about how you find the talent and the coaches. But let's start with the locations. How do you pick the cities? How do you pick the regions where you are going to be setting up shop?
So we have a loose strategy of where we want to be, but it's really depending on where we're finding ownership for those new markets as we expand. So we've been pretty fortunate to be expanding in a way where it's as convenient as possible for us. So travel is a key to the operations of the league. So we're represented fairly well on the East Coast where we began and on the West Coast now, which started with our Los Angeles division and expanded to our Nevada division. Now we're starting to fill in the middle of the country. So we have Cincinnati, we have Indianapolis, our newest division. We have Columbus, Ohio, one of our newer divisions as well. We're looking to get into Texas, so there's areas that we have our eye on, Atlanta and Georgia, a few other key areas where we're looking to expand to sooner than later. We want to get into your neck of the woods in Pittsburgh or Philly. Yeah. So, but we started on the East Coast. We grew out of New Jersey. We grew out of that Northeast area, that tri-state area, um, and so we have divisions everywhere from right now Orlando to the West Coast. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Texas, you'll have no trouble finding people that want to play
Oh yeah.
football. That's
Yeah.
the heartland. And even out here, so I used to be in Philadelphia. Now I'm in Sacramento, and there's an appetite for that here. Like I said, I did play in a league that tried to be kind of like you guys a while back. So there's definitely an appetite and a hunger for folks like me who want to relive their glory days, or people that are still in the glory days and want to play some football. And speaking of those folks, where do you find the talent? Is it organized teams that are already put together, playing in other leagues? Maybe they're playing flag and they want to step up. How do you guys find these guys, and how do you find the coaches? Is it sort of the same idea where the teams already exist and then they come into the league?
That's right. And so the talent, the athletes are really the biggest group of leads and kind of interest that we have. There's players all over the country. It's about, hey, is there a team in my area? If not, when is it going to be in my area? So we have a database of over 10,000 players across the country. Right now, we have 1,200 active players in the league heading into 2024 season, but there's 10,000 and more out there across the country that want to play. Um, as we continue to expand, we establish those new markets and we let them know, and so that's when we have our tryouts and combines. Um, we're announcing our teams, the team names, establishing the coaches to those teams, and building those teams. It doesn't take too long for a new market to start up. Really, it's done within a season. So as we're bringing on new ownership, let's say in 2023, they are geared up to start in 2024. Um, and yeah, we have a great process. We work with all of our owners. We all of our owners work as a team together. So we're building the league, and what works in one area could work in another, and helps everybody.
That's awesome. Taking like
Yeah,
a rising tide lifts all boats
that's
type
right.
approach to it. Um, so with teams all over the country in different regions, you mentioned the West Coast, East Coast, some in the Midwest. How is the league structured? How do you guys have divisions? Is it region specific? How do you determine a champion? Is it one league champion or is it by region? Can you tell us a little bit how that works?
Yeah, yeah. So we have divisions across the country, which are regions. Those were the areas that I mentioned earlier. And so in each of those markets, we have up to 8 teams. They play within their division, within their region in the regular season. We have two conferences, the West and East. So in your division, if you're in LA, if you're in Nevada, you're going to play mostly within your market in the regular season. As we head into the postseason, into the playoffs, you're going to play within your conference. And then as we head into the national Final Four, the national championship, you'll start to have more national travel. Um, and so that's designed that way, to make it as convenient as possible for our athletes. And as we grow, we'll continue to add travel. We'll be moving towards more of a major league format, similar to the NFL or any other major league. And so that's part of our vision as we move forward.
And what's the current regular season schedule now? How many games does each team generally play?
It's about a 8 or 9 week regular season heading into 24. And then you have your 3 weeks of playoffs, yeah, including the championship.